Yellow bird. The heat is over an eerily still bayou caused by moisture buildup in the high-altitude clouds heralds a change in the weather, possibly a storm. No storm's coming. Ew. A familiar sight in the fickle skies of southern Louisiana, storm clouds menace a willow-lined channel of the Atchafalaya River. With all these storm clouds. Ew. A quiet stream overhung with Spanish moss and carpeted with vegetation exemplifies the classic swamp bayou. The lush green carpet on the water's surface, at first glance as seen as scum or slime, is actually a delicate mosaic of the tiny leaves of duckweed, one of the world's smallest flowering plants. Coffee wheat stems rising from the bank beyond a bed of water hyacinths are reflected upside down in the shimmering mirror of Blind River. Lines of Virginia creeper, fan-shaped palmetto leaves, and green ash trees compete for space on the crowded back of an Atchafalaya bayou. Hardly butterweed adds yellow splashes to a layer of duckweed. And the grass of water hyacinth displays a bottom blossom of gentle hue. Restoration fern grows green again after turning brown in a dry spell. Cypress knees outgrowths of submerged roots from a rampart for a pair of giants. Spanish moss hangs quickly from the limbs and trunks of swamp trees, which it only uses for support. Tiny gray scales on the surface of the stems give the mosquito's air plant its ghostly color. A red-green snake swims lithely through a patch of pennywort and duckweed, one of the swamp's 50 non-venomous species. Is actually less at home in the water than in the trees, where it spends most of its time hunting insects. Look at that long snake. Its coat glistening, a rarely seen river otter suns on a safely isolated log. Baby otter. Baby raccoons about 2 months old cluster on a moldering tree stump. Aww. A black-crowned night heron stalks a meal. An alligator pokes its snout out of the water. A white-whiskered nutria plows purposelessly through a duckweed spattered pond, alert to peril from its chief swamp predator, the alligator. A monarch butterfly passing through the swamp during its springtime migration to the north pauses among butterweed blossoms. Yep, look at all the butterweed blossoms. A fishing spider, which kills its prey with poison injections, lurks on a water lettuce leaf. A rubber grasshopper, grown to formidable 2.5 inches, rests between leaves. A column of fire ants, floated out by high water, crosses the surface of a shallow bayou in search of dry land. Though they are not aquatic, the ants are so light that their mass does not break the water's surface tension. Those tightly packed in the center carry white pupil cases of their young, while the whole formation is moved along by the current or a breeze. All the fire ants. As an early morning autumn mist sweeps over a sacred swamp in the Atchafalaya Basin, a solitary great egret waits on a log. Immobile, it watches for an underwater movement or surface splash that will betray the whereabouts of its next meal. A young bluegill sunfish, perhaps. See that? Waiting for his meal. A highly unusual sight in the bayous or anywhere else. A hanging honeybee's nest is suspended from a branch in the Atchafalaya swamp. Honeybees usually build their combs in the crotch of a tree or in a hollow of the trunk. This colony was probably forced to relocate to emergency quarters by a natural disaster that ruined the original nest. The nest? A company of brown pelicans drifts lazily along a coastal waterway after feeding. The state bird of Louisiana, at once as common as there were cypress and water hyacinth, the pelican is now an endangered species.